Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the perfect 2016 World Team Table Tennis Championships in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm Adam Bobrow, and with me, Michael Anderson. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great, and it's going to be interesting to see this Czech team now up against the reigning world champions, and of course, you can call them almost unbeatable, but let's see how the Czech team comes up.
That's right. So far, they've been playing well, pulled off some upsets along the way, and the Chinese team not bringing out the world #1 Ma Long, the dragon, the dictator, the man of last year, but still the strongest lineup in the sport. And 3 of the top 4 players in the world are out there right now representing China. So the question is, who's it going to be? What's the best chance they have? I mean, Thomas Konechny in the 3rd spot. He's going to be playing Fan Zhendong. I mean, really, this is sort of just an experience for the Czech Republic players.
But every time I see Lubomír Jančarík, I kind of like his game. It's he has his highest capacity is good enough to disturb Zhang Jike a little bit. So in the opening match, let's hope that he gets on a roll and can disturb Zhang Jike.
Yeah, this is definitely a shot. Zhang Jike has had a lot of trouble in the last year, I'd say. He's lost to more foreigners than any of the top 4 Chinese national team players. Between back injury, other issues, he's played well in the Chinese Super League, or at least in the trials. And you can see here a little bit about the world ranking for the team, #1, top seed here, and definitely the strong favorite in this tournament. Haven't dropped a match so far. Zhang Jike recently had a shot in the back to get him through the last tournament, lost in the semifinals to Ma Long in the German Open just about a month ago, earlier this year, which was considered by many to be the mini world championships, the test event. So for those of you a little bit newer to this tournament, just sort of checking in for the first time, this is the biggest tournament of the year put on by ITTF. 94 different countries are here, 87 men's teams, 78 women's teams. And we've got qualifiers. This is the Champions Division. The top 24 teams are split into 4 groups of 6 where they play round robin, and the top 3 from each group qualify to move on. 2 and 3 will be playing in a crossover, and the top seed from each group will have a bye into the next round for single elimination. Now, Jančarík, I would say, definitely one of the most muscular, tall physiques in table tennis. But as we've seen between some other strong, tall players earlier, Matthias Carlsen demonstrates better than many, staying low and how important it can be. But Vladimir Samsonov, between the German Open and the end of last year, has shown very efficient play being a tall player, very clever service changes. And I feel like we're having a chance to watch a legend right now. This could be the last big year for Zhang Jike. We'll see. I think the physical demand of the game playing on the Chinese national team, Michael, is just more stressful on the body than playing anywhere in the world.
And I would add to that competition, you know, you have a feeling this year that, as you say, Zhang Jike has struggled a lot and kind of went down in his performance. And there are also young players pushing from beneath. Now we have Fan Zhendong as the kind of guy, and I also know that Zhang Jike had some issues with the Chinese Super League in the beginning of the year. Didn't want to play, wanted to raise his salary, and so many things come into the picture for a champion like him. Of course, he's the big championship player so far.
Right, he shows up when the pressure's on, and at 28 years old, pretty young compared to most other players around the world. In Europe, you can play into your 30s. We see Primorac out here at, what, 46? Schlager's back. Waldner finally retired just recently at 50 years old. And then we've got a 28-year-old on the other side of the table. And again, the European style of play, not to mention the competition and demand, just a little bit less, but still both players quite physically fit out here.
Very fit, I would say. Like Jančarík looks to me as a top-level athlete. His game, though, has some limitations, but obviously he's a very durable player in the European league systems, and trains out of Werner Schlager Academy in Austria.
Yeah, and as far as physique goes in table tennis, being so muscular, I guess in the legs and the quads and the core, it makes a lot of sense. If you see people who are bulky up top, it can sometimes slow down your shot.
And also, like that body strength I say core strength is important to keep to be able to withstand that tempo in the game today. But obviously, you don't want your physical abilities to affect your techniques too much. There's always a balance for a lot of players who do a lot of weights or whatever they do for physical conditioning.
So I think this tournament, for Zhang Jike, it's going to be more a question of making sure he doesn't lose a single match. I don't think he'll secure a spot on the Olympic team in this tournament, but he could lose one if he loses a match here in this tournament. Well, we'll see. All matches are going to be best out of 5. First player to win 3 games, and the first team to win 3 matches will win the overall team contest. So Lubomir Jančařík right there on the screen for Czech Republic. He's world rank number 103 versus world rank number 4 Zhang Jike with the serve.
1-love.
Not a bad start considering he popped up the receive and blocked the ball to the middle back.
Love 2.
Now, as far as stressful games go, Zhang Jike's backhand tends to be a bit more compact than others, and unless he's coming in over the table and really putting his back and arching it into it, I'd say he has a very efficient backhand.
1-2.
So, Michael, you've probably seen Jančarík play more than I have over the years. What would you say his greatest chances here, his best threat?
I think to come out on the right distance is important against Zhang, and that's where he has to work his way. So he gets a little bit more time, but still keeps his timing and can work both back and forehand. His backhand game is good, actually, backhand opener and backhand attacks, and he should be able to set some kind of challenge here.
Serve looked attackable, seemed to come off the table by a bit.
I've seen that a few times. Players misjudge the bounce on the service specifically. They see it's long, but just missing the balls. Could be something with the tables, or as we talked about before, with the flooring or something like that. That makes it a little bit more difficult.
You're right, there is the layer of carpet under the purple flooring. Might slow down the ball a little bit. And with such a light ball in this sport, everything mattering, a game of millimeters, I mean, slight air conditioning, there could be so many different factors that affect the ball's bounce. Serve didn't look to be too long. Zhang Jike got that from right over the back edge of the table. You know, we talked about Zhang Jike being injured, but he's also come back from down and out. Things aren't looking good, and then out of nowhere pulls off a huge victory. That's what he's known for. I think a lot of fans watching, waiting to see if he'll be able to go to the Olympics. I mean, right now, Ma Long just seems on fire. It seems like his year for the Olympics. But what if Zhang Jike could come back and steal it? We'll see. I mean, he's beaten Ma Long in the trials, the competitions in China.
Left 6-2.
I guess the warm-up matches they had as well. There's been a lot still being stirred up on the Chinese national team.
7-2.
A lot of pressure to keep it deep on the table. Zhang Jike's too good with the angles. If you leave the ball a little bit shallow, he'll hit it inside out. Or if he sees you stepping around, play it down the line on the forehand side. Again, that soft touch, forcing the hesitation out of Jančarík.
Jančarík also hesitating with his service. released one too long, and that's, you know, tension comes, then you need to serve extremely well all the time. It's a pressure point to play like that.
Let
I think this could be a conversation with the coach that's going to have to loosen him up, get him to make some bold decisions out there and just go for it. There we go, a hooking forehand, forcing Zhang Jike to move wide. This is another thing. When you've got a player who's injured out there, or at least has a weakness, you're going to try and exploit their weakness, whatever it is. It's sort of how it goes. You know, if you know someone has a weak backhand, you play to their backhand. If you know they can't move well, you move them.
10-3.
It's still Zhang Jike here with 7 game points in the first. For some reason, the topspin didn't seem legible. Zhang Jike with a walk away, make it 11-3 to take the first. We'll see what changes come back in game 2 just after this.
Thank you. Second game, Jančarík to serve.
All right, as we're coming back for game 2, it's Jančarík with the serve for Czech Republic, down 0 games to 1. And that's an unusual way to get a point. A service error left too high, but the awkward ball was trouble for Zhang Jike. And we were talking over the short break about Czech Republic in Division 2 last time, but here they've pulled off some upsets already, Michael?
They did, and they beat Chinese Taipei 3-0 and also Greece 3-2 in a tough match. So they're in a good position actually to maybe advance from this Group A, with China, of course, the big favorite. So they played a good team championship so far.
And they've got Korea DPR in the group as well, right? Oh my goodness, the counterattacks there right off the bounce. This is the Zhang Jike that comes out when the heat gets turned up just a little bit. It's almost like the adrenaline turns on. Barely even moves, short stroke. Where his racket starts.
Look at that backhand there, just a change of pace also, you know, like it's unbelievable to see him sometimes.
2-all.
And you can see he's pushing Jančarík to turn it up a little bit, try and find the middle, initiate with more power.
First time really he got that serve going, you know, so released it properly.
Yeah, the reverse pendulum is a very tricky serve to really nail with the distance. And his is a little different. It seems to bounce up a little higher, come in behind the net a little shorter. Get a nice look at it there. And that one was lower to the net, you're right. I think he's really zeroing in on that reverse pendulum serve. It's also interesting to see the different tactics that players have. Zhang Jike obviously stretching out his back right now. His back has been a main issue for some time. But he plays with the edge tape, seems to be his sort of go-to place to get in the zone to focus, tying the shorts before the match every time.
4-3.
Jančarík has had a little bit of trouble with the pendulum serve, reading the topspin that Zhang Jike puts on it. Subtle lift up at the point of contact.
3-5.
Again, not a bad receive, but Zhang Jike is going to get it if it's over the table, just up a little bit near the back edge.
Clearly he's feeling stressed about his short return, and every time he returns short with forehand now, it's been way too easy for Zhang Jike to do something over table.
Right, I think he's going to have to change his mind a little bit on the receives, whether it's a long push or a flip. There we go, solid opening backhand down the line. Seemed a little bit mistimed there, playing the ball from out in front, a little bit flat-footed.
Seven, 4.
Jančarík, when he backs off the table, as big as his wingspan is, as fast as he's off the table, I mean, he's just not going to win enough points there. I think he's going to have to try and stay in some shorter stroke shots, counters, blocks. I think he's going to have to try to pin Zhang Jike in the backhand corner here and there and then go down the line. That's one way to do it, load it up with spin. And for those of you watching right now live, you can send in your questions, hashtag #AskTheCommentator, and on Twitter it's @ITTFWorld. Let us know if you have any questions, things you're curious about with this match, this tournament.
8-6.
So Jančarík showing that he's got a few tricks up his sleeve as well, that he can do some serves that look a little bit spinnier than they might be.
That's his best chance, I think, to go down the line and work with his backhand. And he's done it a few times and scored right away, actually. So I think absolutely good return and good backhand attack.
And he doesn't telegraph too much. It's a little difficult to tell where he's going when he opens, with that backhand especially. Similar idea, a little break off the top of the net, and it's tied up. After an 11-3 loss in game one, it's tied at 8 each. And he pulls into the lead. Sometimes just talking to the coach. And actually, one thing that I think makes a great player is being able to self-coach, to discover what is working when you're out there alone.
Seems like he's relaxing a little bit now and just trying to get his service in a better motion kind of thing.
Zhang Jike was so quick to change his mind on that. He came in to get it over the table, saw it was high, and got a full swing. Very physically demanding to make such a quick change for a huge stroke like that.
I have a feeling that he's struggling a little bit to put his service the way he wants.
Jančarík.
He's fighting it a little bit in terms of serving.
Which is interesting because he keeps going back to that serve, so he clearly prefers it out here.
10-9.
It's so good also to think the game. Like now he knew that this one was coming and served a little longer down the line, and very, very tactically aware all the time. People forget that. It's not only the technical capacities, it's the way they think the game also.
That's right. There it is again, the backhand down the line on the forehand side. Jančarík tying it up at deuce in game two. And you can see that Zhang Jike has very little clue as to where the ball is going to go when he takes that backhand. It's a very ambitious stroke, trying to play a full stroke shot right off the bounce, and that's some frustration you heard right there from Jančarík. Had the opportunity, spinny shot into the forehand side while Zhang Jike was over the table, but it's a quality over the table shot. And a narrow escape, 12-10 for Zhang Jike to take a 2-0 lead, game 3 just after this.
Na ten forehand, já si myslím, že on na to čeká a jenom to zatáhne tím potahem. Jo, ale víš co, on je dobrý z backhandu.
We're back for game 3. It's Zhang Jike, arguably the most celebrated player in the game today, with the serve right now of 2-0 against Lubomír Jančarík, Czech Republic.
One love.
Now, Zhang Jike has only lost one match in a World Championships in his history. It was 2 years ago in Tokyo to Dmitry Ovtcharov, who's not here this time.
1-1.
Back injury, Dmitry Ovtcharov. This is the injury we were talking about earlier, Michael. More and more back injuries. Serve coming a little bit longer, but he seems to be ready for the attack. Comfortable counter-attacking with the backhand. And you had talked about how Zhang Jike seems a little bit slower out there, not moving as freely.
It's just a feeling you have that it's not like his footwork is not 100%. And before you saw him, he could reach everything. He was so athletic in his movement. Now you see a few errors creeping in like that, and it could of course have something to do with his injury problems, obviously. But it's just a feeling it's not as effective as he used to be.
Yeah, he even had a few shots out there where he looked to be a little bit off balance, almost tripping up on his feet. Oh, double happiness, top of the net, the edge of the table. Copyright Bella Livshin. Not much you can do about that. He was there for the net ball. I think it'll definitely be shot of the day if he returns that around the net. The day we see one of those returned, Michael.
Yes, Mr. Bobrow.
3-4.
Definitely some good power on that and racket speed.
Missing it, hitting a few forehands now. Hancarik knows the ball probably coming there, but doesn't get his, positioning. Doesn't position properly. for the moment.
Timeout now. On the Czech Republic side, I'm just trying to think what Jančarík can do if he can be serving a little bit more to the backhand to open up the backhand-to-backhand game. Because anything that comes off the table in the middle, it seems that Zhang Jike is going to take with the forehand. And forehand to forehand right now, the consistency favors Zhang Jike heavily. And most of the points that we've seen scored from Jančarík have been the backhand down the line.
Exactly. I agree with you. I think that maybe out to the backhand, you know, his positioning on his short service has been too predictable also here. So then you struggle to keep it short. You know where, at least Zhang Jike knows where the ball is, the direction is going to come. So there's a question just looking long or short, and that is so strong. Anything that comes just a little outside the edge is a winning topspin.
5-3.
Well, he listened to us, probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lou Goliang is watching ITTV right now. Little earbuds in and just getting coaching advice from us, clearly. It's fun, we don't see a lot of emotion from Zhang Jike until a match is over, until he's won a title usually. Occasional frustration.
As you rightly pointed out, there is some as his feet planted and in a good position to execute that technique, takes the ball early or in front of his body, and a few times now he's kind of wobbling and doesn't get his feet planted in his forehand game.
Yeah, fortunately for him right now, he's playing world rank number 103, so the ball's not coming back quite as often. But if those balls come back, he's going to be out of position and off balance for another shot. Beautiful execution right off the bounce. It's the backhand down the line again. Anytime he can get Zhang Jike to step around and play the long cross-court shot. You can see the big gulp moment right after he hits this ball. Oh no, the edge of the table again. A beautiful combination too from Jančarík. Cross court, then opens up right down the line. Zhang Jike looked like he thought it was over for sure. So he's got his fist clinched. That was a cho-no. Strong backhand again, varying it up with the spin. A little bit more security on the next ball. And that smart shot was the second one. It looked like he was going to loop. He played it soft. Got Zhang Jike to come in off balance and then opened it up with the hooking forehand. Looked like it might have been a flip kill there. That was the powerful forehand we saw. Just enough topspin on it to ensure the shot goes in.
Eight-all.
Kind of interesting to see in both these both the second game and now here that he loses some kind of concentration and makes a few errors, and he's coming back from, I think, 8-4 down here as well.
Well, crossing the finish line is definitely one of the toughest tasks.
9-8.
I mean, real winners win matches. It's not obviously Jančarík is a world-class player, but he's playing world rank number 4, Grand Slam winner Zhang Jike. So tying it up at 8-8 is it first winning by 2. And that shot right there just silences somebody. It's demoralizing, really. Hits it behind him right off the bounce.
No problem with his balance there. But it's interesting to he goes to that both serves quite well and knowing what is there to come. actually, because in the first one he challenged long, and the next one again, same positioning, but just a little different speed, and he wanted that ball to come too. So
now we've got 2 match points for Zhang Jike. And that's it, a 3-0 escape. The first one was no problem. The next 2 a bit more of a challenge. Strong performance from Jančarík, but between a few edges and Zhang Jike hitting some incredible shots, just not enough to challenge the many-time world champion. 2 times singles world champion, 2 times team world champion, and looking at another one here this year. But coming up next, we're gonna have Shushin and Pavel Shuruchek. Should be fun. Shushin, always exciting to watch. You don't want to miss it. Come back for match 2 just after this.